And welcome back to Newsmax Now. Secretary of Defense Ash Carter pleads with lawmakers to pass a new multi-year military spending agreement.
This one-year approach is managerially unsound and also unfairly dispiriting to our force.
Carter says military personnel and their families deserve to know the truth more than just 1 year at a time. And singer-songwriter Elton John is also on Capitol Hill today. He's urging lawmakers to step up funding for the global campaign against AIDS. Democrats and swing states push back against President Obama's free trade proposals. That's according to an article in The Hill. Democrat Jason Kander, a candidate for Congress, calls the Trans-Pacific Partnership a, quote, bad deal for Missouri. In Iowa, a state trooper's dashboard camera is rolling when a pickup truck, take a look at this, suddenly stops on the highway.
Here's this young man, 15 years old, yelling at me saying his dad's having a heart attack.
Well, Trooper Tracy Bolin quickly administered CPR to the man and was able to get a pulse. Thankfully, the driver was taken to the hospital and is now recovering at home. And take a look at this. That's water from a lake in Oregon's Mount Hood National Forest. Wow, forcefully making its way down a mysterious hole. Officials believe a volcanic eruption caused that open lava tube. Pretty cool looking.
Well, the White House is away the House is away this week in Capitol Hill. Something is at play in the Senate, though. The Iran nuclear bill, GOP leader Mitch McConnell is getting ready for a test vote, we hear. And here to look at what's at stake is Newsmax chief Washington correspondent John Gizzi. John, good to have you with us.
Good to be here now, and it certainly is exciting. I might add that at least from the standpoint of Capitol Hill and the other end of Pennsylvania here at the White House, the Iran talk situation changes by the hour.
All right, so keep us up to date. We know McConnell may have found a viable workaround here because by most accounts, these amendments offered by Rubio and Cotton put the leader in a pretty tough spot, right?
They certainly did, and they would call for greater verification and enhance the hand of Congress in maintaining the sanctions. Remember, the Ayatollah Khamenei, in his first public comments after the arms negotiations, came out and said all sanctions must be lifted immediately. Now, the president didn't rule him out. Press Secretary Josh Earnest said that was not the original agreement. But it seems as though for members of Congress, maintaining some strong sanctions is going to be the proverbial bottom line as far as Congress's hand in the agreement.
Well, it does make sense. I also heard that there was a little meeting in the leader's office between Cotton, McConnell, and Rubio. And this might not be making Rubio and Cotton a lot of friends in the leadership of the GOP. It does not seem to be hurting Senator Rubio out on the campaign trail. Now, with some of his attention, though, of course, diverted to the 2016 campaign trail, do you expect to see more Cotton-Rubio collaborations of this same sort?
Cotton-Rubio collaboration, along with Senator Menendez, the ranking Democrat on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Mind you, this is an issue that is bipartisan.
Right.
And frankly, the common denominator is they do not trust the theocracy in Tehran. Let me add one other point. You mentioned the campaign trail. On Friday, I saw Governor Kasich of Ohio come the closest he has to jumping in the presidential race. He gave a long discourse to reporters about foreign policy, an area he's not known for, and he said, you lift any sanctions, you're going to have an Ayatollah in power for a long time. Whereas the administration is going in one direction towards lifting sanctions to any degree, Republicans seem to be falling in strongly behind a harder line against Iran. It's going to be a fascinating debate and one that's going to be fractious.
Now, interesting you mentioned Kasich because we talked about him a little bit earlier today. Our colleague from Newsmax, David Goodfriend, said he is the Republican candidate, although he's not officially a candidate yet, who worries him the most.
Okay. Worries him the most in what way?
As in terms of being
with John Kasich, it's never a simple answer.
Okay, well, he says the best maybe suited to run against Hillary Clinton.
Okay. I would say this. You know, I report these things, but if I can put on my hat briefly as an analyst, Governor Kasich did say that one difference between him and the other candidates, you have to carry Ohio to win.
That's so
He
true.
was just reelected by a landslide in 2014, and Republicans hold most of the chairs on the deck right now in the Buckeye State. Only one president has been elected in the 20th or 21st century without carrying Ohio's electoral votes. That's significant. And he has also made significant inroads among union members, Hispanic and black voters, a point that he highlighted. So I would have to say, given that and his experience as chairman of the House Budget Committee, Governor Kasich is formidable.
All right, we will certainly hear more from him and more about Ohio as we get closer to 2016. And John Gizzi is going to stick around with us. We're going to talk a little bit more about this trade deal. What's going on there?